I mean, I did a list of Trump's, stupid shit Trump's done. Everything highlighted is a flat out lie he has told.
He's brought down the numbers of illegal immigration to almost zero in compared to like the year before.
2020 election was stolen. Lie. Will release Epstein files. Lie. Stopped 7 fucking wars. What are we talking about? He's also delusional.
I'm perfectly in favor of America going out and assert its dominance over the world.
He lies. He's negatively impacted the overall morale of the U.S., and he will lead us to fascism. Hi all, I'm Ceci. Today's debate is, has Trump's second term been a failure so far? And my answer is yes. I'm a political commentator and comedian. I run the Putting You On podcast on YouTube. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at @veryceci and youtube.com/@veryceci.
So hello everyone, my name is Mateen. I was born and raised in Iran. I came to US the right way and legal way in 2016, and I became a proud citizen about 3 years ago. I'm arguing in favor of Trump's second term, and I'm proud to say that he was the first president I could vote for after I became a citizen. And a lot of you might know me from my Jubilee appearance, which gave me the name Mustache Hat Jubilee Guy. I was in the room with like people who were far more on the right side than myself, people who didn't want my kind to be in this country. So, and I believe they don't represent the right side very well. So I'm here to show the audience that there are different things, different sides to this whole matter. And my X profile is Mateen, my first name, Matin, and my last name, Samimiat.
So the question is, has Trump's second term been a failure so far? And the answer is yes. Trump is one of the most racist and incapable presidents of our time. His first day in office this term, one of the first things he did was pardon January 6 rioters, all of them, who then later, some of them went on to be arrested for murder and child porn. So he actually released criminals onto the street, while at the same time now is funding ICE to round up people he deems criminals based on their skin color, based on tattoos they might have or language they're speaking. His Supreme Court last week approved racial profiling. Also, Mateen, I want to say thank you for being here for this debate today, because I don't know how much longer you're going to be able to be here. And that's not what I want, but that's what our president wants. And the way he's able to do all of this is because he is ignoring the Constitution. He is funding ICE, building concentration camps, and ripping families from their homes without due process because of the bad budgeting and the big beautiful bill. And here's the budgeting. It's 1.2 trillion cut from Medicaid, which will leave 10 million without healthcare coverage. 186 billion cut from SNAP, which will leave 18 million kids without access to free school lunches, 700,000 young adults left without most or all of their monthly benefits. So good luck feeding your kids. Cut funding pediatric cancer research. Veterans have lost benefits, even some lost their jobs. And that's because when he took office, he dismantled the GOA, Government Office of Accountability, and then installed DOGE, which was supposed to find waste and fraud my ass. And he did put him there, and he puts loyalists in positions around him because he wants to do whatever he wants to do. And he is. He's used the military against his own people. He spreads propaganda, financially has benefited more than any other president. And he buddies up with dictators. He creates a national emergency so that he can distract everyone from the Epstein files, which he is in and ran on releasing, but he's not now. He lies. He's negatively impacted the overall morale of the U.S., and he will lead us to fascism.
All right. So real question, first of all, what makes Trump a racist to you? And let me give you the mic.
What makes Trump a racist to me is the fact that, one, we know in the past that he was denying Black people the right to rent in his certain apartment buildings. So we know that he has a long history of it, but also some of the things that he has said. I mean, he is, and also the people that he's putting in position around him. Stephen Miller, white supremacist. Pete Hegseth, white supremacist. I mean, people who are pushing white supremacy in the country, and also racist in the way with racial profiling that he's approved because of the color of your skin.
So there's a lot of things to unpack here. Let's talk about the racism part. To me, it's always been quite entertaining to see usually like white-looking people make the claim of white supremacy regarding Trump or his cabinet. And I watched them and I'm like, I never felt, discriminated against. And many people like me, I mean, after all, almost 50% of Hispanics voted for him this past election. 1 in 5 every Black man voted for him, which is the highest since the civil rights movement. So I'm like, if he and his cabinet were so racist, why would these people vote for him? Like, shouldn't they like vote for someone else? And then regarding the immigration and ICE stuff, like I said, I came here legally 9 years ago. And to me, when I see illegal immigration going on, it's an insult to anyone who came here legally. And as a matter of fact, illegal immigration makes legal immigration much more difficult for people. With the ICE stuff that you mentioned, it's you can't just cross the border and not expect any consequences. I mean, you can see that with all countries in the world. You can't just go. I mean, except Europe nowadays. But let's take Iran for example. Even Iran with all its problems and the Islamic government over there, you still can't do that over there, and there are consequences to it. It's part of the rule of law, and so I'm perfectly in favor of ICE going after, especially these criminals, and.
So you're perfectly fine with Trump's racial profiling because he ran on locking up criminals, but we know that he's not just locking up criminals. I mean, I think it's less than 20% of them actually have criminal records. He's just rounding up people at Home Depot. He's taking your kid's classmate's parent. He's taking the person who is your employee or your customer. He's rounding up people based on what they look like and the languages they speak. Also, I don't know the whole like people who look white speaking out against white supremacy. I don't know why we wouldn't. Also, why you said like Latinos vote. A lot of people vote against their own self-interest. A lot of people do. And it's usually because they're thinking about the economic implications, but they don't seem to realize that Trump is a billionaire who's here just for billionaires. He is not here for the American people at all. And you said that you came in the right legal way. People are being arrested at court when they are showing up for their hearings because they have come through the system.
So, I mean, racial profiling is a method that you can use to find these criminals. I mean, I'm like, even if I were to be apprehended by ICE because I look like this, like, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, well, at least, some other Muslims or some problems in the past, which, aren't Trump's fault, are the fault of, some people from my region of the world have gave me a bad name or a bad look. And I'm willing to be the one to clear that out. I mean, after all, like, who did 9/11? Or, which religion in the world is responsible for most of the terrorism, which is Islam. And
then why is he not actually going after people like that? And he's just sweeping up. You're saying you're okay with racial profiling. And you're also saying that you would be, if they arrested you or came to you questioning your citizenship, are you okay with being locked up without due process until they figure it out? Or do you think they should figure this shit out before they just round up people and kidnap them?
I mean, it's simple. They're going to apprehend me. I'm like, here's my document. I'm a citizen. Oh, sorry for, wasting your time. it's part of the fear mongering of the left nowadays to make people who came here legally to be scared of being here. I've actually been told that a few times. Like, are you scared that ICE is gonna come after you? They're gonna kick you out. They're gonna kick you out. Like, your white slave masters, will kick you out. And like, they don't like you. I'm like, no, it's just fear mongering. Like, not a single citizen has been deported. Yeah, sure. Like, there's been cases of like, people being apprehended who are citizens, but it gets cleared up afterwards once you show them the documentation. It's not as apocalyptic that the left makes it sound like, oh look, they're rounding up all these people.
You're talking about fear mongering when we're talking about Trump, and because he is a fear mongerer. He has threatened other countries. As soon as he took office, he threatened to take over Greenland, threatened to take over the Panama Canal. He has completely isolated us from our allies. And he just declared war on Democrats after the Charlie Kirk shooting. He is fear mongering. He wants to create a civil war amongst his own people. And he's definitely going to use this to go ahead and militarize more cities, though he's only going after blue cities, not ones that actually have higher crime rates.
Well, first of all, you mentioned Charlie Kirk. I saw one of your videos, and I'm glad I'm sitting in front of someone who isn't part of the left that cheers his death. There has been, I remember one of your most recent videos talked about that. So I'm glad we have that agreement between us that it's not a cause worthy of cheering. But when it comes to, since you mentioned it, even though it's not necessarily related to his second term, like whether it's a failure or not, but it's important to note that it was the left's language that fueled all this violence from people who like to take these matters into their own hand. Because when you constantly make it sound like you're dealing with a Nazi or a far-right extremist or a fascist, some people are going to be like, oh no, you know what? We got to take matters into our own hands. And
I haven't heard one Democratic leader say that the shooting was okay. I haven't heard anybody say that we should blame Republicans, we should blame white people, we should blame men. The left literally has placed no blame on anyone, where the Republicans are placing blame on Democrats. Somebody wanted to say that it was a trans person. Guess what? Surprise. It was another white guy who's from Utah, and his dad is a minister. Not surprising at all. Statistically, I knew, and if you saw my last video, I said this is who it's going to be. It's going to be a white guy from Utah who's probably religious and probably on the right. You keep saying that the left's language. Give me an example of language that the left has used to fuel like a civil war or racism.
Just taking Trump, for example, it's hard to quote all the different media outlets on the left that would say, no, this is like Nazi tactics. This is Nazi authoritarianism, or this is like pure sign of fascism that Trump's displaying over here. When you keep displaying language like that towards Trump or other people who are linked to him, it's going to make some people fear to the point that they want to take matters into their own hand. And unfortunately, Charlie's case was one of those cases. Even though he was nothing like a far-right extremist, like he was like very much a moderate conservative. I'm actually worried of like what could come after him as a sign of retaliation from people who are actually far-right extremists. And then I was gonna now, like I said, with the Charlie Kirk stuff, I don't really think it's related to like Trump's second term being a failure, whether it's a failure or not. I'd like to, how earlier we were talking about ICE and things like that. I believe that we need to like get a lot of these illegal immigration fixed in the country, because as I was saying earlier, it makes it harder for legal immigrants to come here. And yeah, sure, there are crazy people that aren't even okay with the legal immigration part, but if we just can't keep the borders open and have people pouring in mainly for economical reasons, because sooner or later we are going to run out of resources ourselves. It's not unlimited, and it's going to increase costs for ourselves too. So from the border aspect and the immigration part, it's been a perfect success, and he's brought down the illegal immigration numbers to almost zero, and that's a big success. And I'd like to, I mean, we only have 3 minutes. I only have 3 minutes left, but I'd like to talk about the foreign policy part of it too, if you'd like.
Okay, I mean, if you want to talk about foreign policy, you're going to have to bring that up. But I will address the fact that you had no example of the left giving dangerous language. Trump is giving dangerous language, calling a war on Democrats, along with his Republican politicians, Nancy Mace. This is on Democrats. Guess what? It wasn't. And they were saying this before we even knew who the shooter was. That's dangerous. Also, no one's called for an open border. Joe Biden deported people. Obama deported 11 million, but they didn't need to use these Gestapo-like behavior because they used the due process. They followed the Constitution, which Trump is constantly breaking. And did you say that he has put the Muslim immigration at a zero? Is that what you just said?
Just overall immigration. Yeah, not immigration. I was talking about illegal immigration. I said he's brought down the numbers of illegal immigration to almost zero in compared to like the year before.
Well, I mean, you wanted to talk foreign policy, which we can if you want. I don't know what you want to address in that realm. But there are plenty of other things we can go down. I mean, I did a list of Trump's, stupid shit Trump's done. Everything highlighted is a flat out lie he is told. So really quick, tariffs, inflationary, going to come down to the consumer. It's not a good idea. In fact, what it will do is add $1,300 per household in taxes. So that's not going to help. 90 days to 90 days, that was a lie. 2020 election was stolen, lie. Will release Epstein files, lie. Stopped 7 fucking wars. What are we talking about? He's also delusional. End Ukraine-Russia conflict, day 1, lie. Will deport criminals only. We know that's a lie. Alligator Alcatraz, befriending dictators, flew Andrew Tate and his brother back to the U.S. when they were wanted for sex crimes in Romania. But he is a criminal and a pedophile and predator, so no surprise there. Love this. Left the Paris Climate Accord, wants to push for more coal, but then reduced funding for black lung screenings.
All right, so there's a lot of things to unpack, So the reason why I wanted to go to the foreign policy route is because, I'd like to focus on the things that are.
So you want to focus on foreign policy instead of his America First agenda? Why are we talking about so many foreigners when he wants to focus on America? I don't get that.
It's not only that, it's just because, we got to focus on like what's directly linked to his term instead of like, outlier stuff. So you mentioned the tariffs. The tariffs aren't perfect. I agree that. But I believe it takes some time to get to the level where we can make money off of it. You can't expect immediate results from the tariffs right away. It takes time. This is something that a lot of people, expect immediate results in 7 months now? It won't happen in 7 months. Yeah, sure.
90 deals in 90 days. I am going off of what the president has said would be done. And all he's done is delay deal after deal after deal.
That's part of diplomacy. I don't think neither one of us is a diplomat, but I believe it takes some time for the tariffs to work out. And then regarding the other thing you mentioned with Greenland earlier, I'm perfectly in favor of America going out and assert its dominance over the world, because that's the country I moved into. I want this country to look as strong as possible, and I want us to be feared by everyone else in the world. Why would I come to a country that I view as a weak country and is getting thrown around by all the other powers in the world? So I'm perfectly in favor of that. And the 7 wars you mentioned, I mean, obviously, the 12-day war between Israel and Iran, that was a pretty decent accomplishment. The war between Armenia and Azerbaijan, which is, the neighbor country to Iran, that was going on for a long time too. And what was it like? There was another African country that had some war. He stopped that one. There was another one a couple of months ago between what was it? Was it Taiwan? No, not Thailand. No, it was a South Asian country, I think. He stopped that one too. So, when it comes to the foreign policy, because I'm able to look at things from a perspective of an outsider, because I was born outside of here. And when I look at this, and I'm like, oh wow, like this makes me feel proud that I'm part of this a strong country. This makes me happy that I'm here, and the world is scared of us.
Okay, I mean, you have 2 seconds left. All right, anyway, so what do we want to address here? Oh, you want the country to be feared and not loved. I don't understand that sentiment at all we have isolated ourselves from allies. We are now very vulnerable, whether you think that or not. Also, the Rwanda war was stopped in 1994. He is delusional and, again, still continuously lying to the American people. Again, things he's done: okayed racial profiling, bullied Greenland in the Panama Canal, changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Fear-mongering isn't a good thing. It's not. Fascism is not a good thing. You're applauding it. You're okay with it. But you left a country that runs on fascism. It's not Iran is not democratic. Why did you leave if that's what you want here? What else can we go over? He wants to push prayer in school. There's a separation between church and state. The Constitution matters. He wants to mar it. He doesn't want to follow it. He's not a real American. And also, I will say this: most people want to go off the economy. Oh, the stock market's rising. Well, the stock market rose, but groceries didn't go down. And the average American is not basing their quality of life on the stock market like most billionaires are. Trump is dangerous. Trump is a racist. Trump is a predator and a child rapist who is in the Epstein files. So fuck Trump, release the files. That's what I say. If you want to be transparent.